Podketeers.
You're the devil in disguise. Oh, yes, you are. A devil in disguise. Ho, 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 ho. I don't know the rest of the words of Zelda's song. But you dum ba dum ba dum bum ba dum ba dum bum. Something like that. I don't know.
You did great.
Ho, ho, ho.
I don't know about you guys, but now I'm in the mood for a peanut butter and nut sandwich.
Hey there, mama.
That was so much
good.
more Johnny Bravo than it was Elvis.
Yeah, it was John. It was 100%.
It was totally Johnny
Do the
Bravo.
monkey with me. Oh,
Oh, yeah.
there, baby. Oh.
Oh, man. March Mayhem is off. It's we've officially started it. As of the recording of this episode, we're a few matchups in. Mm-hmm. The current matchup is, I think, Fennec Shand versus IG88, the day that we're recording this episode. And it's funny because I started getting messages from people as we launched the different matchups, mm-hmm. and one of them was from our pal Heather, where she was like, "Hey, I can't believe you guys are making me choose between I think it was Lando and Chewie." And I just responded with chaos.
I mean,
she started laughing.
I said Chewie all the way, baby. That was my prediction.
You did say that.
And we can say as a fact that Chewie came in with a chair and slammed Lando to the ground.
Chewie came in hot, man. I could not believe that 22 hours in to the voting for Lando versus Chewie was winning 100% of the votes.
Oh, wow.
And it wasn't until like the last couple of hours of voting that someone finally voted, and we finally got more votes for Lando. I was going to do a pity vote for Lando, only because, Childish Gambino and all, but, it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, somebody's got to lose. There's always a winner and a loser, and sometimes you just lose real bad.
That's right. If you're not first, you're last.
Yeah.
And somebody's going to be first.
Yeah, you got to let the Wookiee win.
Is the Wookiee going to win, though?
I don't know.
Listen, that's the rules if you want to keep your arms. You got to let the Wookiee win. That's
That's funny. Yeah.
Tip for all you voters out there.
On Discord, Brian, who holds the most wins for March Mayhem to date, gave us his official prediction. And then he said, I want to do can I submit a second chaos prediction? Mm-hmm. And his chaos prediction is my real prediction. He put Din Djarin as the winner. I was like, I don't know why that's your chaos prediction, bro. That's like my real prediction. So I think Din Djarin, I mean, I shouldn't say that as much as I'm saying it, because for some odd reason, every year that I've selected somebody for the win, with the exception of Mansion, I'm out first round. So I don't know if it's happening on purpose or if I'm just bad at choosing the winner of March Mayhem. But Din Djarin's my pick this year. So
what are our other matchup wins so far? We've had two other ones, right?
Yeah. So the other ones were Luke and Leia.
Uh-huh.
And Luke and Leia ended. Oh, I'm sorry.
No,
it was Luke and Rey.
No, I was like, I haven't
Luke and
voted
Rey.
for
Sorry about that. So Luke won 80% to 20% versus Rey.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And let's see. And then Darth Vader versus Kyle. Oh my goodness. Quick story about this matchup. So Vader versus Kylo Ren. Just so you know, Vader won 75%. So
really?
Yeah. So I hate autocorrect on the phone. I hate it with a passion, because as I was, I try to post these as close to the 24-hour mark as possible, because I set an alarm daily and I don't want to have to straggle for 15 minutes after, to post the next one, because the last one just ended, right? So I try to be quick about these posts. And as I was posting it, I was typing Kylo Ren, and it kept auto-correcting it to Kyle Ren. And I thought I finally had it. I fixed it. And even Ren was auto-correcting to something else. I don't remember what it was auto-correcting to. Excuse me. But when I finally fixed the second part, let me see if I can find... it kept capitalizing Ren. Instead of like capital R, lowercase en, it kept capitalizing Ren. Yeah, for some odd reason. And
like
so...
an acronym.
I kept deleting it and putting it back, and I finally got it to not capitalize it, and I hit post, not realizing that it auto-corrected Kylo to Kyle again. And so I'm all happy, thinking like, all right, that, finally, I was a little stressed out, like I was a minute late, whatever. And then I get a message from Andrew saying like, hey, Darth Vader versus Kyle Ren?
I just said Kyle Ren.
Kyle
That was
Ren?
question mark.
Which
like,
was
what?
read differently.
Yeah, and
because I didn't catch it. I didn't catch the misspelling.
Luckily, it was only the
honestly-
two of us that voted.
yeah, at that
Hey.
moment, it was just the two of you. And so I'm frantically trying to delete the post to like repost it again. And then I don't know. It was just frustrating. Like there's times where autocorrect does its job, and there's other times where it just will not stop pissing you off. This was one of
Right.
those times.
I just looked at my
Yeah.
bracket, and so far I'm 3 for 3.
Are you really?
Yeah, I had Luke. I mean,
Wow.
which is easy because it's Luke and Vader, and then Chewbacca.
That's
True.
What's funny is Fennec Shand. Fennec Shand is my next pick, but I think I voted for not her.
Uh-oh.
Ouch.
All right, let me
That's
see.
okay. Mando does. They don't make it out. Chewbacca wins. All it matters is if Chewbacca wins at the end.
All right, let's see.
I mean, we'll see.
My
'cause we
prediction is
haven't voted for
Chewbacca
the other
versus
round.
Darth Vader.
It is, yeah. All right, I am... Oh, I'm out already because I put Matt, the technician.
So you got
Me
Luke,
too.
but you got Kylo.
Yeah.
But you voted Chewie.
I did.
So you got 2
So
of
I got
3.
2 so far.
Ooh.
What did I do for Fennec Shand? Yeah, I put Fennec Shand as the winner between them two. All right, we'll see. Yeah, I'm looking at some of these brackets. You have Chewie. I have Din Djarin. Mel chose Leia. Heather has Vader. Miguel said Luke. Jill also said Vader.
Vader, Luke.
Darth Vader for
Did
Brian,
anybody-
and then Mando.
I don't see
was-
anybody. Nobody voted. Oh, that was Brian's chaos prediction. Has Lando.
Yeah.
The only one on this whole thing. That's very funny.
Well, he's already out. I mean, Yoda would beat Lando anyway, so it's
Yeah.
craziness. So yeah, it's Chaos Bracket. I'm loving it so far. This has been pretty fun so far. I should be posting a recap towards the end of the week, probably this weekend, once we get the first 5 matchups out of the way. Yeah, I was not expecting Lando to lose so badly to Chewbacca, but now that you've so eloquently reminded us that that's how you
Yeah,
lose
let
your
the rookie
arms,
win.
then
Yeah.
it makes sense. Makes a lot of
Also, I'm
sense.
looking through Discord. We should welcome Bentley B to the
Bentley!
Discord server.
Oh,
We got
yeah.
Bentley
Hey.
joining us over on Discord. Now they just noticed this.
Yeah, Bentley's my buddy. Welcome
Oh,
to
Bentley's
your
Discord.
buddy?
Yeah, welcome to our Discord, Bentley. It's good to have you. He's a great artist, man. He's a comic book artist. He's created like
nice.
his own characters and stuff like that. He loves Lorcana. Plays with his family all the time.
Nice.
He was the one that I was going to originally try to play with, and I didn't get a chance to. But one of these days we'll figure out
Yeah, one day.
how to play. Yeah. He's also a big Rocketeer fan.
Nice.
Yeah. So,
Hey.
shout out to Bentley. Let's see. Hey, totally unrelated to what we're talking about right now. I have to ask. This video came up, and I'm a little confused. Disneyland Band played at Walt Disney World this week.
Mm-hmm. They did.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know why.
I
Do
wish
you know?
I knew. I don't know.
Here's some things I gathered. apparently, Magic Kingdom doesn't have a marching band.
Okay.
Why?
So, yeah, they just don't. And so I don't know if they are like, hey, bring the Disneyland Band over so we can see if it's something people would like and we'll start our own band, or if it's just all the Disneyland Band wanted to go on vacation and they all chose to go to Walt Disney World and they're like, while we're here, why don't we do a set?
Well, the weather is nicer, I guess, right now.
But it's very funny, like, looking at the videos that people are posting and stuff, because they're like, the Disneyland Band does a 17-song medley and da-da-da-da-da. And it's like, that's the thing they do every day.
Yeah.
It's the same one. And it's like, I guess we take it for granted because it's just there all the time. And it's like, yeah, the Disneyland Band is good and cool, but it's just like, that's just part of the fabric of Disneyland. It's a whole special thing.
Can I throw a little monkey wrench in your
Sure.
logic?
Oh.
The Main Street Philharmonic at Main Street, USA. It's a grand old band, drum roll, trumpet call, marching down the street clad in
Well,
brightly
how
colored
many?
universe. This 12-piece brass and percussion ensemble is a sight to behold, performing old school marches, big band hits, and familiar classics with their high-flying harmonics. This band is a crowd-pleasing favorite with guests. Listen for songs like Take Me Out to the Ball Game,
Oh, you're reading
76
straight off the
Trombones,
website.
and Alexander's Ragtime Band. When the band is ready to exit, they usually play the Mickey Mouse Club March. They even take requests, so make yours before they march away. Available Thursday, March 13th, 2025, times 11:40 a.m., 1:25 p.m., 2:35 p.m. View all times.
Well, then maybe they just wanted, maybe it was street. So I'm looking them up. So they're like about half the size of the Disneyland
Yeah.
Band. And they don't look like they do as much.
I've never heard the
do
Disneyland
some.
Band do 76 trombones.
No, yeah, they do like a bunch of like traditional stuff. The Disneyland Band does a bunch of, they do like the Avengers theme and stuff.
Yeah.
And Tiki Room, yada yada yada.
Scores and stuff.
The classics, you know.
Remember when the Disneyland Band would just walk through all of Disneyland and play
Yes, that was the best.
That was the
the
best.
land songs from the lands in the land?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah, good. Bring that back if they aren't doing that still. I don't remember. That was
Well,
good.
they can't. Now they're at Walt Disney World.
Yeah, they're
True.
the Disneyland Band's at Walt Disney World. I don't know. I have no idea why they're there. Maybe they just wanted to like big time the Main Street Philharmonic and be like, hey,
But
look at.
That's,
Oh,
I
that's
mean,
the example.
that's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, I think that's why it's so confusing to me, because they have a band. Yes,
Sure.
it's definitely smaller. They don't play the traditional Disney songs, but why not just teach the Walt Disney World one the Disney songs, or make it larger so that it resembles the Disneyland Band? Why take the Disneyland Band and be like, yeah, we got the superior band? What?
I don't know. Maybe they're trying to get guests' reactions to. It was probably cheaper to be like, okay, just fly these guys out for a day, then like, okay, band, learn 30 songs, because you have to spend all that time rehearsing. So maybe they're wanting
I don't
to
know.
like revamp the Main Street Philharmonic into something closer to the Disneyland Band, and I don't know. I don't know why they're there.
I mean, if that's the case, sorry.
No, you're fine. You're go. Keep going.
If that's the case, I mean, that's great for them. I mean, it would be cool if they did have their band, because they have specific songs that they could play over there that we wouldn't play over here. Like, One Little Spark would be cute. They
have the Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow, because they have Fierce Progress. They have
they could have a song about the People Mover, because it's over there.
Oh man,
Sad.
they could play a bunch of like old school Tomorrowland stuff.
Oh yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
That'd be great. Man, first
but-
the Hatbox
yeah.
Ghost, now the band. Damn it.
Well, we'll see what happens out of this, but I think it's kind of nice for the East Coasters to get a taste of the Disneyland Band, see what they're missing.
Well, as long as they don't say we're keeping it,
Yeah,
like they did like with the Hatbox Ghost, then
They got a
everything.
copy. They just got a copy.
It's the same thing.
It's Hatbox Ghost from Temu.
It's ours. It's Temu. Only because of the location.
Right.
It's Temu location.
Temu.
Everything else is okay. Everything else is fine.
It's just a clone like Dolly the sheep, or was it Dolly? Who is the sheep?
Yeah, it's Dolly the sheep.
Is it Dolly the sheep?
Yep.
That's funny.
There's a reference from the 1990s or whatever that
From
was.
last century.
You're right.
Yeah, speaking of Imagineering, we're going to be talking about Disney's presence at South by Southwest in a little bit. But yeah, the video just threw me for a loop. I mean, I think you're right. I think it is just like to gauge interest of potentially doing a larger band or, whatever the case is.
Right.
But it's funny because the post is like, it's this historic day because Disneyland's band has never performed. And it's true. Like, why would they, right? They have
Right.
their own band.
They're Disneyland's band. They're
Right.
But, like, they're making it this, like, huge thing. It's like, this historic day. It's like, bro, it's just a band. Like, relax. Okay?
right.
Or it's like, take it down a
The
notch.
Beatles met the Rolling Stones,
It's got a
and the
little too much
Disneyland
mustard
band
on there.
performed at.
I mean, it's not the first time we've had entertainment cross from coast to coast. So.
That's right. That's right. Let's see. Oh, this was just a fun video that came across my feed. Let me quickly share this. This was posted on the Discussing Film account over on Instagram. But there was a fan dressed as Wile E Coyote boycotting. Whoa, that is loud.
Woo! Good morning.
Yeah. So it's a fan in a Wile E Coyote costume with a picket sign that says "Release me."
I love it. I love it.
This is in reference to, if you're not verse on this, the Acme versus Wile E Coyote film that has been threatened to be deleted because it's gonna save them money on taxes or some dumb thing.
What was it threatened to be deleted, or was it according to them? Because
I
if
think
they already,
threatened.
well, wasn't it already part of like the
Let's
cleanup
see.
that they supposedly did, where they called it a write-off, and so in
Right.
order to call it the write-off, they had to delete it. So as far as we know, the film doesn't exist anymore.
Let's see.
I don't know.
As of
I
April
mean-
2024, the film remains available for acquisition. But
Oh,
that
it's
was a
still
whole year-
available.
I mean, that was a whole year ago at this point. I'm trying
And
to see.
it's still like the film is still marketing itself with this fan. Like, drop it. You'll
This
get
one
your
guy is
money.
gonna save it.
Promise.
All right, here's what we're gonna do.
comment
We're gonna
from-
do a GoFundMe. We're gonna save
Yeah,
this
okay.
film.
It needs to be purchased for $75 to $80 million.
Okay, good
That's
luck to
it?
this guy with the sign. I don't think we're going to
'cause
be able
some-
to raise that.
Somebody offered like $40 million or something at one point.
Can
to
we
buy
just do
it.
a GoFundMe?
That's what Heyzen's saying.
Yeah.
Just we want to see this.
As of it said on February 16th, 2025, when asked by Screen Rant at the Writers Guild of America Awards if the film still had a chance to be released, this is a clip from Eric Bauza. He said, "That's the question of the year. It's only February. I'm going to say yes if this movie, meaning the day the Earth blew up, the Looney Tunes movie, opening March 14th in theaters everywhere, gets a lot of money, then we might see Coyote versus Acme. Stranger things have happened. If we don't, I'm going to put that movie under everyone's seat as a DVD. No, I'm just kidding. I was kidding, David Zaslav. You didn't see that here.
That would be good. Yeah. I mean, if there was just one copy underneath a seat,
Right.
that's all we need.
Yeah.
John Cena's in this movie? I didn't know that
Will
he was in the
Forte.
Coyote versus Acme.
See the Roadrunner?
He's Acme Corporation's lawyer.
Interesting.
Oh.
Well, right now he's a bad guy for the first time in his career in WWE.
It also has Lana Condor.
He turned on the children. He made children cry recently.
All the people else that are in this, I don't know.
Interesting.
Lana Condor, PJ Byrne, Tony Bell, Martha Kelly, Eric Bauza.
Eric Bauza. That guy's so talented, man.
Mm-hmm.
So many voices. So good at what he does. All right. Let's talk about South by Southwest, shall we?
Yeah.
Already?
Yeah. So
Okay.
there's a good amount of stuff to talk about.
There's a lot of
from
stuff.
South by.
Right.
Yeah.
Stuff. There's like a whole presentation, right?
Yeah. Well, so South by Southwest is... It's not a convention. It's like it's
like a conference.
It's a conference, essentially,
Yeah, that
where
sounds about right.
they have musicians and tech people and all sorts of disciplines, design, and, bring them all together into one happy place where you can share ideas and you can share technology and all sorts of stuff.
Let's see
Meet
what they
new
call
friends.
themselves. South
pretty
by
sure
Southwest
it is a
is the
conference.
annual conglomeration of parallel film, interactive media, and music festivals and conferences organized jointly that take place in the mid-March in Austin, Texas. So it's a bunch of stuff. So there's South by Southwest music, South by Southwest interactive, film, education, and then other. So it's like a bunch of stuff all taking place across like the whole city, basically.
Yeah, and it's usually a week, so you get like you got to hop around a lot because there's a lot of stuff that happens at South by. So Disney had a presence this year. Like they have had a presence for several years now at South by Southwest. I think last year or the year before was when we had originally seen the animatronic that was roller skating that kind of looked like Judy Hopps, and it was doing the tumbles on the screen.
Oh, right.
That was the first look that we had gotten at that. This year, it looks like they recapped a lot of the stuff that we saw at D23 last year. So there was a lot of repeat information. However, they did include new footage, and they did add some information that they didn't have yet at D23, which was pretty good. So that's some of what I'd like to talk about right now. One thing that they did show off, I remember at D23 were the little BDX droids. They look like little chicken, like robots that
with a flat head that march around.
Yeah, and they had them walking around Galaxy's Edge at one point.
Yeah.
Just to kind of test them
I think
out
they
and see
still
how people
are. They're there pretty frequently.
I think one of them, or is
They
it
have-
all of them?
It's like three
they
of
have
them.
one at least. Yeah. They had two coming out consistently for a while, and I think now they have one coming out consistently. But the BDX droids, super cool. We saw those at D23. We had an opportunity to talk to the developers, and they talked a little bit about how they made them, the development, how they control them, which was, super cool. I actually have a video because they have them on stage here. I'm going to share this video so we could talk about it as we're going through. Boop, boop, boop. So they did talk about the Disney 100. This was part of the panel called "The Future of World Building at Disney," and it was Josh D'Amaro that presented, and I believe it was Alan Bergman that was also presenting with Josh. Let me see if we can fast forward to. Yeah, so here's the little.
See, our BDX droids are.
Here, we'll mute it so that we don't get a strike again or anything.
Yep.
But now they have all of these on stage with them, and I don't think, if I remember correctly, they aren't able to control all of them using one remote right now. Each one requires its own. So I don't know if that's changed. Yeah, I don't know if that's changed since D23. I mean, technology moves super fast, so it's quite possible that they figured out a way to do that. Or they could have figured out how to make them so that they interact with each other, that you control one and the others react
like a
to
follow.
the rest.
Like I think they're like drones have like a follow. Like you, follow one, you control one, and the other one's kind of just follow along, sort of deal.
By the way, this right here, super impressive. I want to see if I can get back to it. The staircase thing.
Oh right.
Yep.
The fact that it can rebalance itself going over these obstacles. And the stairs is the most impressive part. I mean, it pretty much kept its composure the whole time, and it could have tumbled because it's fairly top heavy. Right? So the way that these are designed, this is one of the coolest animatronics that they have going right now.
Right.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
When you're talking about the stairs and there's no detectors or anything, and I'm like, that's a far away, like, from when Osimo made its debut. And I'm like, just to see, like, how technology is now, it's pretty wild.
Were you there when they first launched Osimo, or how long was it when you were working at Innoventions?
It was there.
Was it
time.
when they launched, or was he already there when you went to that attraction?
He was already there.
He was?
Yeah.
Did they ever talk to you guys about some of the innovation that went into Osimo? Because he was super rigid.
Not entirely. Like, I got to see, like, some behind the scenes stuff. How the robot would just see everybody. Like, I got to see that point of view, which was, like, pretty crazy because it looked like night mode, pretty much.
That's funny.
That's pretty much it, and not to touch them because they were like $20 million.
It's like, don't put your lips on it or anything. Like,
so when it just goes bloop, when it goes tippy, I need to go to nap. Yeah, that's bad.
Okay, so this right here
Yes.
is possibly the thing that I know, like, you were going crazy about.
Yep.
I'm gonna
Babu
pause
Frick.
for a little bit here because Disney owes you some money, Mel.
Mm-hmm. And you know what's funny? We're very close to nearly 5 years since I brought this up. Because I had to go on Podketeers, look at what episode. It was episode 296. So it would have been March 19th. So I'm either a psychic or something because... Look, this is exactly why I brought up Babu
Did you
Frick.
say Babu Frick riding a droid, or did you just say Babu Frick animatronic?
Well, no, what I said was Babu
it?
Frick, like, he would be where the vehicles would be, like the garage.
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
I saw him, like, doing stuff like this, playing around, fixing things like
Gotcha.
that, like, not speaking to anybody. And I'm like, this is it. This is it.
Yep,
this is
him.
exactly. Thank you, Disney, for bringing out my vision, because this is exactly what I was talking about.
He's on a BDX droid. He's hot-wired it seems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is, I think, one of, like, it's a perfect application for something like Babu Frick, right? Because he's so small. Like, you can't have somebody controlling him the same way, or the illusion would be a little lost because of the size of the animatronic, right?
And I don't think you could build something that small that could walk.
I mean, I'm
on
sure
its
they
own.
could. I'm sure they could, but it would look a lot more rigid.
Right.
And the great thing about the BDX droids is that they don't have to be absolutely perfect because they are trying to move like a duck would, right? Or a chicken, you know, it has that waddle to it. So they already have the inclination to like put something on top like they did with Babu Frick. And this is fantastic because it like you said, it looks like he hot-wired it and now he's like riding it. And the little bit of unbalanced motion that you get from the BDX droid, it works exactly. It looks fantastic with this. So I do like
a plush.
I know.
Red eyes.
He's so freaking ugly.
So cool.
He's so cute. Like,
I want to know, like, So in the parks, the BDX droids are just controlled by like a remote, like it's like a remote control car. These ones, they in the video test videos, they seem to be more autonomous because they're like checking their surroundings. So I'm curious as to what. I'm assuming that the ones on stage here are probably remote controlled as well, and they're still working on the autonomous part of it, I guess. I don't know. It's because it's all in development still. So I'm just curious on it's not like anybody has the answer that we can well, somebody does, but how far along they are on any of that stuff coming out, because that would be very interesting to see.
Yeah.
If they have the answers, they could contact us.
Right.
Yeah.
Question at Podketeers right there.
Comments at Podketeers.
Comments. There you go.
Just send us an email.
You guys listen to us. Just hey, let us know.
Drop in the DMs.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
You can remain anonymous if you have
join
to.
the
Don't worry.
Discord.
Yeah.
Josh, tomorrow you could join our Discord.
Yeah. I used to get texts from Bobby, and now he's just ghosting me. He doesn't send me anything anymore. That's how he was getting all his ideas.
Right.
Now they're not. So, whatever.
Just
whatever, Bobby. Cool. Let's see. I'm going to fast forward to the next thing. Oh, so the next thing I wanted to talk about was we knew that there was a roller coaster coming to Walt Disney World for Monsters, Inc.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
The concept art that we had seen at D23 was fantastic. This, where did I? Yeah, I had a note. It was 24 minutes here. We got some footage of how the coaster is going to move as it's loading guests. And, we got Pete Docter talking about stuff. And let's see. He'll stop talking in just a moment.
Must
here.
be a weird life Pete Doctor has. It's like, all right, remember when you were like making movies? All right, now you have to make like a roller coaster.
Yeah, now you're in development of these coasters. I will admit that the light cycle coaster was one thing, but we're watching the video now of how it's going to load the coaster. It's essentially disassembling, realigning, loading people as they're coming off of the attraction, lifting all of the seats and reattaching it to the coaster. And this is happening with what looks like 3 tracks, two to 3 tracks.
I think it's 3 tracks you can see.
Yeah.
Ooh.
But they converge to a single track. It's just like
correct.
For quicker loading.
Okay.
So it's I think it's more similar to what do I want to say?
Radiator Springs?
No. So basically what's happening is like that is a whole section of track that is lifting up. So there's somewhere that we don't see in the video that's the offload section. And so the offload section probably comes down, or maybe it ends at a station or whatever. Then this whole train of cars gets on the thing, people get loaded in, but the seats are turned 90 degrees. So it goes, and then it raises up. I mean, it looks like it raises up 50 feet. It looks huge. It's hard to tell.
It looks
in that
like the scare floor building.
Yeah, it's
that's
real
it.
tall.
Yeah.
And it lifts up it connects with the other track, and then the car starts moving, and the chairs pivot to face the direction that the train is going.
I have to admit that growing up, I loved roller coasters. Like, I was a huge roller coaster enthusiast, so I loved going to Magic Mountain growing up because of the amount of roller coasters that they had. I remember when Screamin' first opened, and like that was like, oh my god. And I get it. Look, we got Space Mountain, we got Big Thunder and all that stuff, but it's not the same, right? Like when you got the loops and you got like the the speed that you get on other roller coasters and other theme parks, it just wasn't the same experience.
Right.
With Disney, you get the theming and you get a different experience because of the type of coaster that it is. Is it exciting?
Right.
Yes, but it's more about the theming and the storytelling. The other ones are just a thrill ride. That's all it is. You love speed. You love the G-force impact as like you're climbing up Goliath and you're hitting that like steep, downward hill as it's coming down. It's nothing but thrill. Exactly. This, I remember when the Light Cycle coaster opened, I thought, oh my God, this is potentially what's going to get me to drive to Walt Disney World.
Let's go.
Because, we were going to do our road trip, right? And now I'm looking at this one and I'm thinking, nope, this might be the one. Because this is as close to like full blown. I know they got Rock and Roller Coaster and everything, but technology wise, this looks amazing.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm so excited for this coaster, but at the same time, I'm so concerned that this coaster is going to be down all the time because it's not going to connect properly. Because you know how precise they have to be with engaging the tracks and how often they have to make sure that they're aligning properly. I have to imagine that the reboot sequence to make sure that everything is meeting safety standards is like a 3-hour process for something like this. Because think of what it is for Rise.
But here's the thing. That Rise is a Wi-Fi issue and all that stuff. If you think about other roller coasters do this with multiple tracks convert. Like Big Thunder Mountain has a track switch. It's not as complicated as this, but it does have a track switch. So this is a much more complicated track switch, but I can't imagine that it's, I can be proven wrong and am very frequently, but I can't imagine this being as complicated of a system as Rise of the Resistance. Also, the other thing we don't see in this is how the track is lifted up. In this video, this rendering, the track just floats in the air. There's no
figured
cables,
out magic.
There's no
They figured out magic.
So we will see when, it's gonna have to be some sort of either chain lifts or cable lifts or pneumatic lifts, something.
They get everyone to huff helium before.
Exactly.
But,
think light.
Yeah.
But this, okay, so realistically speaking, this is kind of like, I know people are going to be like, no, it's not the same thing. It kind of reminds me of Ninja at Six Flags.
Yeah.
And I think it's just the way that you're bringing your track up. I mean, other than that, I want to see how it does that, but I could see the track being just like that.
The thing that worries me, I get what you're saying, that there's other roller coasters like Big Thunder that have moving tracks, but a moving track where the vehicle is on top of it versus having a suspended coaster and realigning, I think is a slightly different process.
What's the difference? It's just upside down.
Yeah, but the weight distribution is different. So there's a potential alignment issue because of weight that's coming down. So it has to be more precise. And I get it. Suspended coasters tend to break down, as far as I know, suspended coasters tend to break down more than regular coasters do.
This is a thing I have no experience in because I am a chicken.
Ninja was always down. That's the thing.
Yeah,
and
that too.
Most suspended coasters tend to be down a lot more. Or I just have that bad luck that I used to not be able to get on those as much. But I really hope that I'm wrong about this, because this roller coaster has the potential of being like the best thing that they're going to have in this park.
Yep.
But it also worries me that it's going to be down a lot. And so I'm sure that a lot of...
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that I hope that there's been sufficient R&D that goes into it, because this is unlike anything Disney's ever done. With that said, though, Disney does outsource a lot of this stuff. They don't do it directly in Imagineering.
Right,
They tend
that's
to
what I was
get
gonna
companies that are experts in this type of technology to help them build these things. So that's kind of where I'm feeling like, okay, we might be okay with it, but I'm still worried about it, you know? Because things
That's
happen.
true.
Things happen.
I hope they get Roz, though.
Oh, I'm sure
That would
they
be pretty
will.
cool.
We'll see. I mean, this has the potential to be, sort of a mix of the Guardians coaster too, with the, the seats that spin. So yeah, it's going to be very curious on how high velocity, how high of thrills this has, or if it's going to be like a family coaster but suspended.
Yeah.
If it's, I mean,
It is named a Monsters Inc. after all.
I mean, height-wise, I think if you're worried about height-wise too, it's pretty much like if you're going on Soarin' and you're on the top
Right.
level. It's
No,
pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, that's not. I'm more thinking of like will it have inversions? Will it have big all this stuff?
Like a corkscrew, yeah.
Yeah,
I
you
don't
never
think
know.
it will. I think
Suspended
this was
usually doesn't.
Yeah, Ninja does.
Actually,
Okay.
Ninja.
Yeah, some suspended coasters do have inversions. However, if you think of the film and you think of the tracks that the doors would take, there were no inversions
Right.
in Monsters
but,
Inc. So
but that doesn't mean
this is-
anything.
what I do think they'll have is the swivel effect, where
Yeah.
the track will swivel back and
Or
forth,
the-
and then your seat will also
pendulum.
swing like a pendulum
Yeah.
as well. So there's going to be a double action like motion to it.
Sure.
But I don't think there's going to be any inversions in this
Yeah,
one.
I'm just
Yeah,
curious
no.
if how in their level of coaster, because this is at Hollywood Studios, so they have Slinky Dog Dash, which is a family coaster, and then they have Rock and Roller Coaster, which is much more adult coaster with a big launch and everything. And I'm assuming this is going to land somewhere in the middle, if I had to guess, because it after all is themed after Monsters Inc.
Yeah.
So children would like to ride this.
Yeah. I'm
I
curious
mean,
as to what
us
the height
too.
requirement is
Right,
going to be for this. Yeah.
that's my whole big question is how much is this going to be for families in with younger kids, et cetera, et cetera? Is this a 40-inch height requirement? Is this a 48-inch height requirement?
I'm guessing
or is
48.
this a 36? Yeah, we don't know. We'll find out.
Yeah. I'm putting my guess down now. It's 48.
48. There's not many 48-inch height requirements. That's just Disneyland.
But
is
if your
just
feet
screaming?
are your feet dangling off of this?
They're dangling. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Disneyland.
then it's going to be a strict requirement.
Well, it also depends on the type of harness that it has, because if they can find a way to clip you from the bottom into a lowering harness or something into the seat, then the height requirement can be 42, right? So you can get somebody smaller in there depending on how much protection they have, so they don't go flying out of the side or something like that while the coaster's in motion. I would love to see more videos and more as more of this gets developed. It was exciting to see this because I remember looking at the concept art when they first announced it at D23, and I was pretty excited, thinking man, now they do stuff like this. Come on now. Come on.
Right.
Speaking
Yeah,
of...
let's see. Incredicoaster has a 48-inch height requirement.
Yeah.
Is the
Well,
only
because of
one
the
in-
inversion, though.
Yeah, the only one in Disneyland Park that has a 48-inch height
Yeah.
requirement.
So I do want to talk about the next coaster situation because it has some cool technology as well. But before we do, I want to take a quick second to thank a very special group of listeners, our podcast Fairy Godparents, also known as the FGP Squad, because it is their support via Patreon that help make these episodes of Podketeers possible. For more information on how you can become part of the FGP Squad family, we invite you to go to podketeers.com/FGP. There you will find a list of some of our top contributors, a link to our Patreon, some information about what the FGP Squad is all about. But in general, being a part of the FGP Squad family gets you some additional perks like access to discount codes for new Podketeers gear, a special section of Discord, access to our happy hour calls when we get a chance to do those, giveaways, and more. So again, more information can be found over at podketeers.com/FGP. And to all of the members of the FGP Squad, we just want to send a huge thank you for your continued support. Speaking of links, podketeers.com/links is where you will find some of our most commonly asked for links, including our latest episode, the Disneyland playlist. You'll also find links to the FGP Squad, of course, our Discord, so you can join the community by clicking on the link you'll find there. You'll also find any fundraisers that we're currently running with our official charity team, Team Boat Willie. You'll find a link to our YouTube channel and our pal Larry's YouTube channel, Goofy Guys Adventures. Plus, you'll find a link to our Armchair Imagineering playlist. Podketeers.com/links, again, is where you will find all of that. I would recommend setting a little icon on your phone, like a little shortcut, so that you just like boop, and then you just go to the boop and the boopity boop, and then you're there. And then you don't have to type in the doobly bloop bloop.
Ah, yes.
Because then you just got the boopity boop.
Right.
Right?
Right.
It just all works out. Okay, so the next thing I wanted
before we move on, I wanted
Sure.
you guys to guess what is Incredicoaster is 48-inch. There is one attraction that is 46 inches at Disneyland. Anybody got a guess on what that is?
Monstro.
The
Storybook Canals.
The next highest height. It's not that. That's pretty sure that's any height.
Guardians?
Baby is no, not Guardians.
Indy?
Oh, really?
It's Indy.
Indy?
Indy is the next tallest height requirement at 46 inches. And then the next one after that, there are three that have 42 inches, which is
Space.
Goofy Sky School, the Matterhorn, and Grizzly River Run.
What?
And then all the rest of the heavy duty attractions are all 40 inches. 40.
Yeah.
So Big Thunder, Guardians, Space Mountain, Jumpin' Jellyfish, Radiator Springs Racers, Silly Symphony Swing, Soarin', Space Mountain, Star Tours, Rise Resistance, Tiana's, and Guardians. Yep.
I wonder if the height requirements are partially set by the size of the vehicle.
I think they're
That you're
set by
sitting.
the restraint.
Right.
I think it's by the restraint system. So
yeah, because
Yeah.
I guess they work in tandem, right? Because
Right.
depending on the size of the vehicle, you can get a larger harnessing system so that you're more protected versus a smaller vehicle that normally just has a lap belt, right? Instead of a full-blown...
yeah, but Indiana Jones fits 12 people and you only have a seatbelt.
Yeah, but you're like sardines in that thing. Nobody's going anywhere. Trust
I
me,
mean,
you're bouncing
if you're
around.
sitting on the
Nobody's going
edge.
anywhere.
Yeah, have you sat in that back corner?
No. Is it bad in the back corner? I've never
It's
sat back
awesome.
there.
It's the best, but you feel like you're gonna fall out.
That's
Yep.
That's awesome. Why
best
didn't nobody
corner.
share that with me?
Because
Yeah, the back corner is
no.
the best
Oh my goodness.
because you're right, like above the hydraulics. Or like
Yeah.
the front one, like the front row, you're already behind the hydraulics a bunch. The back row, you're basically on top of it, so you get the full travel. I'm doing my elbow like the thing. You get the full travel of the drops and the height in the back.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Wow.
It's fun.
Sounds fun, I guess.
The things you know when you've ridden Indy like 100,000 times.
Right. In every seat.
Pretty much. I'm pretty sure I've sat in it.
Man.
I have to have. Anyway, what's next?
They talked about the Cars off-road attraction that's coming.
Okay.
We're not going to talk about that, though.
Okay, they took some gator cars like on some track in the dirt.
Yeah, they had somebody that's
Polaris
good. Like they
driving.
No, they got somebody that knows how to build those types of tracks to build one for them, so that they can do the off-roading experience to try to emulate it on the Cars attraction. That's not what I want to talk about though, because Robert Downey Jr. made a surprise appearance, and he's like, "Hey, surprise! Avengers: Infinity Defense is going to be opening soon, and it is the best thing that's ever happened." Because Imagineering is the greatest thing in the whole wide world, and they're building this attraction for me.
No, he said they're the Area 51 of fun.
That's what he said. Yes, they are the aliens of...
He definitely came up with that line all on his own.
So, this is... Oh, come on now. Advertisement.
You gotta sell... Oh.
We'll just edit this out. It's okay.
Boo.
Don't worry. We'll put a cover over it. So, yeah. So, Dr. Doom comes out.
So wait, can you go back a little bit to show some of the concept art for?
So this concept art was actually
that's the other one.
Yeah,
that's
so
the Stark Flight Labs.
Right. They didn't show a lot of stuff that
like
we hadn't already
Ant-Man
seen.
One.
That's the Hong Kong Disneyland attraction.
The artwork of like the giant Ant-Man in what looked like a Star Tours vehicle.
Yeah, so that's for Hong Kong.
Oh, okay.
But some of this other stuff we had already seen at D23.
Sure.
The new stuff that they added at South by Southwest is the loading system.
This is what I'm talking about.
This is part of the video that they're going to play as part of the e-ticket on there.
Right.
This is let me fast forward here because for Infinity Defense, where is the video for this?
For Stark Flight Labs?
Yeah, so I keep saying it's Infinity Defense. That's the other one. So for Stark Flight Labs, they talked about this on the We Call It Imagineering video that came out this week. If you haven't had a chance to watch it, the We Call It Imagineering is a really good series that Imagineering themselves has been putting out on YouTube. And they put out a video this week that coincides with their presentation at South by. And they were talking about how on this particular attraction that there's two mechanisms that, you know, there's one motion of getting the seats to the arm. And then there was how the arm connects and lifts you up and does the rest of the motion. And so they talked about how normally when it comes to stuff like that, they try to hide all of those mechanics. And in this situation, they just decided...
It's just out in the open.
It's just out in the open. Yeah.
That's the attraction, is you're on a robot arm.
Yeah. And I thought that was pretty cool. I actually... Smart. I like that.
I think you get, you know, it's that... They lucked out that in Iron Man 1, they've got robot arms.
In a way.
The first Iron Man.
Yeah. But see, that's what I'm saying. That's what I like about it personally. Because you're right. It's totally lucked out, right? Because it especially in Iron Man 1, because he was workshopping everything, there was no way for it to look as refined as it would. And instead of forcing the refinement in this one, they're just like, let's just leave it out in the open. It's fine. It's just like in the movie.
It's a test flight. This is like an astronaut sort of thing. This is, you know, you're getting on. Now I'm curious as if you only ride upon one robot arm or if you ride upon multiple. It looks like it's just you travel around the track to an open robot arm and then you click into the robot arm.
But maybe it's two separate tracks so that those who can't go on spinning things can enjoy like sitting.
Sitting and just going on like the people mover, basically, where you just go around. That's what the outside track kind of looks like. It's just like a weird little.
Just
I don't know. It would be.
You want to please people of Disneyland? There you go.
It would be cool if it does it a couple of times where you rotate and you're on like 2 different arms or something.
Yeah, you like
And,
clip
like,
into one, they set you down, and then
Yeah, like the first arm just like bounces you back and forth. The second time it spins you or something. Like each one does something different. But I hope that they also add like something like the teacups where you can control it and make it spin faster.
right.
You know, by
Or at
spinning
least
the
like
wheel.
choose your level. Like when you get on the thing, like for chicken people like me, like I will put it on level
Green.
baby. Level baby.
Put it on the bomb.
Level
And then-
green.
Beyond insanity.
And then
The
anybody
last
else
dab,
can do-
please.
Yeah. The only thing that I'm curious about is if this of all the attractions that I've never thought about this before, but if this attraction would have any sort of weight restrictions. I mean, I know these robot arms can hold a lot of weight, so I don't know.
I'm more concerned with whether or not it's going to be fluffy friendly to sit in.
The harness and everything.
Yeah.
Right.
Because
Agreed.
especially there's a lot of stuff at Universal Hollywood that is difficult to ride in if you are on the fluffier side of life. So I don't know if that's something that Universal themselves has learned from. With the opening of Epic Universe coming up so quickly, they have an opportunity to, one, dazzle everyone with something that Disney currently isn't doing.
Right.
The hype behind Epic Universe is intense right now. And I'm like, for the first year or two, Disney has to really step up their game with attractions and just the park in general, I think, especially on the East Coast, because that's where the main competition is going to be. I don't know. There's Disney could lose a lot of guests to Epic Universe in the next year, so they have to be careful.
I hope they do.
And
I'll
really,
say it. I hope they do.
Oh, yeah.
I hope that Universal challenges them. This right here is like what they talk about when they talk about capitalism and blah 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 and challenging and yada yada yada. This is actually what they mean. Somebody else comes out with a superior product, and people flock over to there. So what do you have to do? Make something better that people want, not do a bunch of weird other stuff. You have to get those people to come back with your better thing as opposed to doing some other weird stuff.
yeah.
Absolutely.
So
And I mean, that's how we got
healthy
Radiator Springs,
competition.
right?
Mm-hmm.
That's how we
Sure.
got Radiator Springs, because Universal was doing the Wizarding World, and
Yep.
so they wanted an immersive experience as well. So we got Radiator Springs at California Adventure. Wasn't that part of the timeline?
Yeah, it was. Because it was a rival park opening.
Let's see. Wizarding
I
World,
shouldn't say
yeah, it
rival,
opened
but-
in June of 2010, and then Radiator Springs opened in 2012.
Yeah. Well, the Wizarding World of Harry Potter opened Universal Studios Hollywood April 7th, 2016.
What?
It opened in 2010.
No, it can't be 2016.
The one in Orlando?
The one in Orlando, it says, announced construction of a second Wizarding World. Let's see. But Hollywood, Wikipedia is not helpful.
I thought the Wizarding World opened a few years before Radiator Springs. Like, Radiator Springs was the answer to having an immersive experience at Disney compared to Universal. Wasn't it?
That's what I
don't-
remember.
So now I'm seeing Wizarding World. Okay, now this is saying this is very exciting to listen to, everybody. You're welcome.
No, we're all learning together.
Look on the Wikipedia article. It only had the date for Orlando.
No, well, I'm pretty sure Orlando opened 2010, and then 2016 we got the one in Hollywood.
Who knows?
I could be wrong.
Somebody,
I don't know. Somebody put it on Discord.
That knows. Let us know. I don't
put
know.
it in Discord.
I know
Let us
Radiator
know.
Springs opened in 2012. I know that because I was there.
Yeah, I know. I have the Vinylmation that I got
was
on
there
opening day.
when they
so,
redid all
yeah.
of the stuff.
Yeah. So anyway, the immersive experience that Epic Universe is bringing to the table is unlike anything that I think we've seen in any theme park to date, and that's saying a lot given the fact that we've gotten Galaxy's Edge, right? Because Galaxy's Edge was even more immersive than Radiator Springs was, especially because it had a lot of technical components that would allow you to interact with the land. We didn't get everything that we were promised, but there was some interaction. Epic Universe, with the new wand technology that they're doing for Harry Potter and all the other interactive elements that are coming to Epic Universe, it's leaps and bounds, I think, where we are right now with Disney. And so I get what you're saying. I was trying to be nice, but I get what you're saying, right? I think there's a lot for Disney. The last few years from like Bob Chapek on have been this like weird rebalancing act for the company where they've hit some lows and they're still trying to recover from them. But in some places they've overcompensated by overcharging and, you know, dropping the amount of guests that can come to the park, by isolating some people, by pricing them out. And I think they overcorrected, they readjusted, and they overcorrected again, and they're trying to readjust, and they're trying to find a happy middle. But in all that time, I think there's a lot of people that also soured to the experience, and there's a lot of people that are just kind of like, all right, well, if Disney doesn't want my money, there's Epic Universe. You know, so I think those are the people that Disney's going to have a harder time trying to get back to come to the parks, especially given the fact that a lot of the new things that Disney is promising aren't available yet. They're still like in opening. Like some of the stuff isn't going to open till 2026, or, you know, there's no opening date for some of these things. It's just concept art, and you know, we're breaking ground late 2025 or something.
Years, 10 years, or
exactly.
They don't say exactly.
But Epic Universe is a hop, skip, and a jump away. You know, so
it's in 2 months.
Yeah, that's a hop, skip, and a jump.
Yeah. So I found some more information out
about when they opened.
Yes. So it opened in Florida June 18th, 2010.
Okay.
Their second park, the second one in Florida, opened July 8th, 2014. The one in Hollywood opened April 7th, 2016.
Okay.
But here's the other caveat to this. In 2007, Disney announced Cars Land as part of the redesign of California Adventure.
But 2007 is also when the Wizarding World was announced.
But I think the response to the Wizarding World is Galaxy's Edge. I think that because
with that amount of time between them,
yes, I 100% do. I think once they saw the 2010 when it actually came to fruition. Because they can say we're doing Harry Potter and it could have been bad. Once Harry Potter opened and they're like, yeah, this is really good, we have to do something. Let's do Star Wars. Because but here's the thing, when did those Star Wars movies come out? That was like 2016, right?
I want to say about that or a little before. We could be wrong today.
What was the Force Awakens? That was the first one, 2015.
Mm-hmm.
So I think
2015 is when they announced Galaxy's
Cars Land,
Edge.
I believe, was planned because there's also all that stuff where they're like, it was going to be Car Land, and that was a concept from the 90s, and la 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 la. I mean, it could be that they went over the top because they were doing Harry Potter, but I think in the long term, Avatar at Animal Kingdom and and Galaxy's Edge are the actual like responses to the Wizarding World, even if it's that far out. Because Disney is the slowest freaking company to do anything.
I getcha.
On the face of the planet.
Okay, so
but also that's my personal feelings.
I think that the Wizarding World was announced and Cars Land were announced the same year, 2007.
2007.
The Wizarding World opened in 2010, and Cars Land in 2012 was the answer to that particular project. When the next Harry Potter land opened, that's when they said, okay, this Harry Potter thing is becoming big for Universal. Let's do our own thing with Star Wars. Because the date of the second Harry Potter area coincides with the announcement of Galaxy's Edge in 2016. Right? And then they broke ground, or 2015 rather. And yeah, 2015. And then they broke ground in 2016. Right? So Pandora, I think, was their way of expanding at Walt Disney World because they needed something bigger to also compete with the Wizarding World and the experience at Universal. So they just needed something bigger that was also movie related because we had Cars Land. We didn't have anything else. Then we had Galaxy's Edge, right? The most immersive portion of it. But even so far from everything that I've seen from Epic Universe, every land that they're developing seems to be more immersive than even Galaxy's Edge currently is.
Sure.
Because you know, like that, and that's if all the technology works. Because we also have to keep into consideration that they're promising a whole bunch of stuff, but maybe not everything got incorporated. Maybe not everything is going to function the way that it should. Obviously, there's going to be problems.
They're already in like friends and family previews right now, and the scuttlebutt is it's pretty dang good.
Really?
Of course.
Yeah.
I did not know that they were at that phase already. So
I mean, they're 2 months away.
Hop, skip, and a jump.
That's a hop, skip, and a jump.
That's the name of this episode, a hop, skip, and a jump. Well, I mean, I, for one, am excited for some of the projects that are coming to Disney parks. I'm definitely excited for the Monsters, Inc. Attraction coaster that's coming. At some point, we're going to have to figure out the road trip aspect and drive down to Florida, you know, and then figure out how to get on the attraction. All these other things coming to Avengers Campus, you know, I think that's another thing we could talk about on a future episode about how Avengers Campus was supposed to be, I think, a much more immersive experience and really make you feel like a superhero. I don't know. I think in general it's been a fairly disappointing, you know, retheming of the area. I don't think it's delivered in the way that it was supposed to deliver for that section. I'm hoping that these new coasters and, you know, the e-ticket and everything that's coming, that it'll change that because it'll feel more complete at that point. Because right now, that's what it feels incomplete as it is right now.
Sure.
Yep.
Didn't they also announce the Mando thing was that at South by Southwest?
That was the new videos that are coming to Smuggler's Run.
Right.
The Millennium Falcon attraction. But if I remember correctly from the article, the new videos for that aren't coming until May of next year.
New mission.
Yeah, and that's
probably their terminology.
Really a year. I mean, if it's May of this year, if it was just a typo and it's May of this year, that's great, right? Because it gives you a way to kick off the park's anniversary, you know, season of the Force and all sorts of stuff. But if it is 2026, that's like, really? That's
also
a whole
this
year.
article, new missions featuring Mando and Grogu coming to Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run, posted on the Disney Parks blog August 11th, 2024.
You're reading an old one?
This is. I mean, and it says expect to see these new missions jump to light speed when the Mandalorian and Grogu hits the big screen in 2026. So it's a tie-in for the movie.
So it is next year then.
Yeah.
Wow.
Joy.
May 22nd, 2026 is the date. That's my birthday.
It is your birthday.
Hey.
And you know what else?
It is your birthday, period.
Epic Universe also opens on my birthday.
Happy birthday
you have
to
a
you.
pretty epic birthday, yeah, for real.
Yeah.
I guess. You know what?
Well-
Maybe they should invite me.
They should.
I won't turn
You
it
can
down. Hey,
report from
Universal,
Epic Universe.
I could be switched over. You know, you could win me over. I like monsters. I like what else is over there. There's like
Wizards.
a space wizards,
Dragons.
dragons. Mario.
You can learn how to train your dragon.
Mario, yes.
Mario, yeah.
I like Donkey Kong. He's got bananas and he's got drums. Those are fun. They have like a hotel that's in the middle of the park or whatever. That's kind of cool.
That does
They
look
got
cool,
like
though. The
they like
hotel
got
looks
these
amazing.
like gates that you go through and portals and stuff. Hit me up, Universal. Let's go.
Right.
I'm also
that's the part
I'm
that's
also-
like, ugh.
I'm also fairly confident that the hotel is a hotel and it didn't used to be an attraction with a bunch of characters from space. It's always been a hotel for Epic Universe.
This one has 100% has always been a hotel.
Yeah, it was never another
It was
LARPing experience.
You're using the tone of it was, but it in fact was never that.
Yeah, no,
Correct. It never was.
100%.
It hasn't even opened.
That's never
yet.
happened anywhere else ever in life.
I mean, yeah, it was never that, and it is now offices.
Yeah,
Woo.
I mean
That's okay.
it's a nice building for offices, though.
Extensive offices.
You know what? Hey, they already built the building. You
edge
can
of
you
the
can have your
universe.
office in where some bunk beds are.
Yeah, with
And
no
a
windows.
Or
Or no windows.
TV screen as a window.
You can use the TV screens for
Staring at
PowerPoint
this-
presentations or Teams calls or something.
Yeah, and they can they'll probably put like a security camera on the outside where you can look, have a camera feed of
like the
outside through
portals
your-
on the cruise lines.
right where it's
where
like a
there's
screen,
screens.
but also it's a video of outside.
That's awesome. All right, it's late. I'm tired.
All right,
We're gonna call it.
let's do it.
We got a quizzing line coming up this week, right?
Yes, we do.
Gonna give us a little teaser.
I sure can. We're gonna learn about trash cans. I remember that.
Oh.
Woo.
We're also gonna learn about some other theme park stuff, the film National Treasure, and
Nice.
Mickey Mouse. You know that guy, Mickey
Who's
Mouse.
that?
Michael M. Mouse.
Michael M. Mouse.
Michael Ma-
does-
We gotta Google this person.
I
Hold
know
on,
a
I gotta-
Morton.
Morton. That's Mortimer.
No, I like Morton.
Morton's the steakhouse.
Morton's the steakhouse. Yeah. Like
What?
Morton's.
The entrepreneur?
Morton's Mouse.
I like
Miguel Mouse.
Miguel.
Mika.
What? Oh man, what is Mini short for?
Minerva.
Minerva.
I like Minerva. I like Minerva.
So yeah.
Peter.
Buff up Peter the Mouse.
Yes.
Gus, Jacques.
Little known fact: Oswald's full name is Oswaldivus.
Oh yeah.
Oswaldivus.
Tensio.
Theo, the rabbit. Oswald. I don't know. I'm tired. We're done. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
You
what
can
we're
just
gonna
make
call
up
it.
more names if you want.
Goodbye.
No, that's it. That's what we're gonna call it. All right, quizzing line coming up this week. Make sure to check it out. March Mayhem
Clifton.
over on Instagram. Make sure that you're voting for your favorites. That's it. Until next time.
Worston.
Giuseppe.
Lampton.
Oh, Lampton's a good one.
Lampton.
Yeah, I like it. So on that note, keep dreaming, keep moving forward,
Christopher.
and always remember to pass on the magic. Have a fantastic week, everyone.
Bye.
See ya.